With a heavy heart and profound sorrow, we delve into the recent Israel-Palestine conflict, marred by anger, sorrow, and devastation. This war, which ignited on October 7, 2023, brings forth a grim narrative of agony, loss, and destruction. Join us as we recount the relentless timeline of events, revealing not just the stark facts, but the overwhelming emotions that have engulfed the lives of those trapped in this maelstrom of anguish. Ladies and gentlemen, we embark on a journey through the unfathomable pain of the conflict between Israel and Palestinian militants, particularly Hamas. This calamity, born of historical grievances and political strife, is a chronicle of bitterness, heartache, and desolation. October 7th, 2023. On that somber October morning, the world witnessed an eruption of pent-up anger and despair. Palestinian militants, driven by their own pain and suffering, launched Operation Al-Aqsa Flood. The result was an avalanche of over 5,000 rockets raining down upon Israel in a mere 20 minutes. This torrent of destruction claimed lives, leaving an indelible mark of sorrow on the Israeli populace. Amidst the blaring sirens and the pandemonium that unfolded, Israel responded with unwavering bravery. Their Iron Dome air defense system became a symbol of defiance against the raging tempest. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, his voice trembling with emotion, declared a state of emergency within 80 kilometers of the Gaza border. As the conflict spiraled out of control, the darkest shadows of despair emerged. The once celebratory grounds of a music festival near Reim transformed into a scene of unimaginable tragedy, where the anguished cries of over 260 innocent souls filled the air. Survivors recounted their harrowing experiences, describing the malevolent presence of militants on motorcycles, unloading their fury upon the helpless attendees. In a calculated attempt to breach Israel's defenses, Palestinian militants employed every conceivable means of ingress. Trucks, motorcycles, bulldozers, even paragliders. Their rage knew no bounds. They managed to infiltrate and seize control of the Kerem Shalom crossing, breaching the border fence in multiple places. Amid the chaos, the militants took hostages, showing a total disregard for human life. Their actions sent shockwaves across the globe, drawing the world's attention to the magnitude of sorrow and suffering. In response, Israel launched devastating airstrikes within the Gaza Strip, targeting Hamas forces. These airstrikes inflicted profound sorrow, causing grievous damage and a staggering toll on innocent lives. The humanitarian crisis unfolded before our eyes, a tapestry of pain and loss. The international community was quick to respond, each nation's emotions and anger contrasting with their pursuit of diplomacy. Many denounced Hamas's tactics as terrorism, while others, their hearts heavy with history and injustice, pointed to the Israeli occupation of Palestinian territories as the root cause of this escalating tragedy. The flames of conflict leaped beyond the Israel-Palestine border, reaching Lebanon as Hezbollah entered the fray. A history of anger and animosity between these factions intensified the strife, further darkening the already grim horizon. The United States, their voices carrying a mix of determination and concern, dispatched an aircraft carrier battle group to the eastern Mediterranean, signaling their commitment to quelling the tempestuous seas of war. As the conflict raged on, the Israel-Lebanon border bore witness to intense confrontations. Clashes, rocket attacks, and artillery exchanges between Hezbollah and Israeli forces were driven by anger and frustration. The Palestinian territories, particularly Gaza, were a canvas of sorrow, painted with the blood of thousands of lives lost, among them innocent civilians, women, and children. Entire neighborhoods crumbled to dust, leaving survivors grappling with unimaginable trauma. Israel, too, confronted staggering losses, their hearts heavy with grief as over 1,300 of their citizens, a mix of soldiers and civilians, were claimed by the relentless fury of war. The plight of hostages grew bleaker with each passing day, their loved ones caught in a storm of anger, sorrow, and desperation. Negotiations and rescue attempts often ended in heartbreak. The international community exerted pressure on both sides, their voices a cacophony of anger and concern, urging a ceasefire and a path towards reconciliation. This conflict is a stark testament to the high price paid in human suffering. Families were torn asunder, communities lay in ruins, and lives were irrevocably changed. The scars etched into the souls of those who witnessed this darkness will persist long after the physical wounds have healed. The Israel-Palestine conflict stands as a monument to human anger, sorrow, and suffering. As we conclude this narrative, let us remember the urgent need for dialogue and diplomacy, for the hope of a future where peace can, at last, overcome the destructive forces that have left so many hearts heavy with pain. Thank you for embarking on this emotional journey, one that reminds us all of the fragile beauty of peace in a world often consumed by sorrow and anger.